Hello, it is Alexa. I'm the creator of Wishbeads, and you're listening to the Wishbeads podcast. I am going to take a break from the regularly scheduled programming to share with you a pretty fun story. And it is part of what I end up talking about when I talk about timelines. Like, when are your wishes going to come true? Because I know that it can feel like you want things to happen faster than sometimes they do. So when I created the company, I knew that I would be doing a great disservice if I made it seem like your wish was going to come true in 21 days. Now, why 21 days? For those of you who don't know, in addition to creating intention-setting jewelry, I also have something called the Wishwork. It started as an email sequence, turned into a journal, and then I developed it into a book called Wishwork. And at the heart of it, it's 21 days of very simple exercises like noticing smiles or the lyrics of a song to see if there's a little message, a sign, a clue, some evidence of support that you are moving in the right direction. Now, this is a very powerful, simple, fun, creative way to give yourself that boost of excitement, signs that you're moving in the right direction. Why? Because we all need some encouragement along the way. We need some kind of proof, even to ourselves, that our hard work, our energy, our intentions are moving us in the direction of our dreams. And it is like a game you can play with yourself. And so I was just reading a fantastic story of a woman who is a grandma from I don't know if you've heard of Humans of New York. It's a fantastic series that you can check out on Facebook. You can also check them out online. I'll include some links in the show notes. He also wrote, I think his name is Brandon. I should have looked this up before I'm recording the podcast. Created a beautiful book called Humans. And essentially, there are stories, incredible stories of individuals in the New York City area who just have been doing phenomenal things. And this one grandma in a most recent post was sharing how she has always been a manifestation expert. She has always manifested seemingly the absolute impossible. And it wasn't as if she didn't have hard things happen to her. Absolutely not. But she always used this sort of ability of magical thinking to create things. And to the astonishment of her family and friends, whether it was manifesting a brownstone, right now she wants to manifest a bookmobile, which, by the way, after Humans of New York had posted her story, the last time I checked, her story ended up raising about $650,000 to create her bookmobile, her vision for empowering children in the Harlem, New York City area to have access to books, had raised that much money. So, hey, Grandma's promise did come true, and she used the power of manifestation. So I'll give you links to Humans of New York, because if you want inspiring stories, and who doesn't, you can go check that out. But going back to this idea of these signs, these little shifts, there's a little dance here that happens. And to me, it's really about taking action, understanding that you are the most important piece of making your wish come true. I'm going to say that again. You, it's up to you to make your wishes come true. And I know that it is so tempting to think that somebody else needs to give you your big break. Somebody else needs to say yes to you or give you something. And if it's because of them, maybe, or or whether it's an individual or a country or your neighborhood, or I don't even know what. But to my vantage point, while there is a dance between all kinds of other elements that are beyond you, the start of it is you. And what's exciting is that activation can begin with something you really, really want, that's exciting, that kind of gets your creative juices flowing, that makes your heart skip a beat like, yeah, I want that thing. And instead of focusing on the lack of it, the longing for it, you can shift that. The excitement as if you are already living that experience. And that's what we do every month in our virtual wish circles. That's what you can do anytime when you do the guided visualization. I'm going to give you a link to do that if you want to try that for free. So, and that's the first powerful part of the Wishbeads experience. It is to imagine your life as if your wish has already come true. Okay, so maybe if you're listening to this podcast, you're aware of all of that good stuff. But I told you I was going to tell you a story today, and I want to do that because it has to do with time, and it has to do with taking a step back and not being attached to how and when things come to fruition, and even why. So, if you don't know my story of how Wishbeads began, I never set out to create any type of jewelry product or physical product of any kind. I always have loved people. I began my kind of professional life actually as a professional actress. I studied acting at Northwestern and then at the Yale School of Drama, and then I came out to Los Angeles and started working in TV and doing a ton of commercials and a film and whatever, just started working. And at a certain point, I felt, you know what it was? It was actually when I started noticing that when I was introducing myself, I would meet people at parties or, wherever you meet people. And they'd say, oh, so what do you do? And I felt myself being a little embarrassed the moment I said, oh, I'm an actress. And that was my first sign that maybe I wasn't in the right job. Because nothing against actors and actresses. It's just that it didn't feel like me. I felt a little like I was living someone else's life. Because truthfully, when I was on set, there was too much sitting around. I know that sounds odd, but there's too much sitting around in the professional life of a professional actress. And it drove me crazy. Anyway, cut to, I began teaching. I began sharing my skills about confidence and communication and how to teach people how to basically be the star of their own life, to love being in their own skin, to ignite what I called their 1,000-watt presence, this thing that actually people looked at celebrities and thought, wow, they just light up a room. Everybody can light up a room. When you are living your life in pursuit of your wishes, free from inhibitions and fears, you actually glow. That was my philosophy. And I began teaching that, and I created a series of online courses and worked with amazing executives and companies. And I was very busy, happily doing my thing, growing my businesses, when all of a sudden one day in the shower, I had this complete download of Wishbeads, that the idea of it, the vision that I saw, the name Wishbeads, and that this was intention-setting jewelry where people would actually write down what they imagined their best life looked like, just one moment, and then wore that vision as a physical reminder to take action. That's what Wishbeads was. And I thought to myself in that same moment, as soon as I heard the name Wishbeads and saw this, I thought, that is literally like the most obvious name in the world. But I was curious. So like dripping wet, I ran to the computer and I thought, I'm just going to check if the most obvious name in the world, Wishbeads, is available, both as a website and a trademark. That's a sign. That's a sign for me to to do this. So of course it was available. I took it as a sign and I thought, okay, game on. But then real life kicked in. Meaning I knew I had this interesting idea. I went ahead and secured the thing, got the URL. I started applying for the trademark, and I just thought, okay, all right, universe, I see you gave this idea to me. So, all right, I'll do it. And yet, I was busy in my life. I'm a mom. I was running a business. I had a very, very full plate, but I would make some time on the side to think about what a product might look like, to think about the logo might look like. I was just very much on the side. I devoted, maybe 5% of my energy to that. I have a lot of energy, but 5% went to this project on the side. And then, as you know, time passes, which is fine. Time passes. But a very important event happened to me. And that was, I attended Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Sessions, which was her live tour that she did at Royce Hall at UCLA. And I think it was like 2016. I think it was 2016. And maybe it was later. I don't remember. Anyway, it was a wonderful lineup of speakers, including Eckhart Tolle and the author Cheryl Strayed, and one of the special guests was India Ari. And she took the stage and she explained that she was going to do a songversation, a conversation in song. She was going to share her beautiful music in that, in that moment with us live, It was beautiful. So I'm, sitting there really having a great time. And she sings her song, I Am Light. And when I tell you, every fiber of my being lit up, like I felt electrified by the energy that she emitted during this song. That's all I can describe it. I knew that in a way it was like an activation inside of me. I knew I had to commit to Wishbeads. I had to make this happen. This is the kind of obligation that I felt to this idea. And I turned to my girlfriend, Liv, who I went to the event with, and after the song was over, and I said, that's it. I have to do Wishbeads. I have to do it. And she was like, okay. My friends are used to me having these ideas and getting very excited about them. And it was from that songversation that 30 days later, I launched a Kickstarter campaign that officially launched my company. And it just fueled me. And so this is the power of a sign. This is a power of your own interpretation of the way that you're experiencing the world. India Ari didn't know what she was, she was just giving her gift. She was just up on stage doing her thing, and just giving it away, just giving it, sharing it. And that exchange of energy then unlocked in me this energy, which then caused me, there was like a chain reaction, then caused me to take action. Now, I was so indebted to this experience that I wanted to thank India Ari. I just wanted to thank her. I didn't know her. I was high up in the nosebleed seats of this Royce Hall, this experience. And I thought, it doesn't matter. Here's this beautiful artist who so selflessly, I think, shared her energy, so beautifully shared her energy, and it caused an impact in my life. And I can tell you now that I'm, years into Wishbeads, that has had a ripple effect, because I get amazing stories of wishes coming true and people feeling inspired and held and motivated to keep going after their dreams. So you never know what can happen as a result of you saying yes to your wishes. Okay, more on that later. But I knew I wanted to thank India Ari. So just because it was the right thing to do, I have to thank this woman, this beautiful woman. So I looked on all, I live in LA. I know a lot of people in the entertainment industry. So I started asking around, does anyone know India Ari? How can I get to India Ari? Just to thank her. No one, I had some loose connections, but really none of them that felt like they could get me to her. Maybe they could get me to someone who worked with her, but not to her. So then I thought, okay, well, I'll reach out to her in all the public ways that I can reach out to her. So I did it through Instagram, and I did it through, things on her website. I made videos for her. I actually made videos, just thank you videos, that I would send to her contact, information, and hoping that she would see it, literally just to thank her. Because I believe it's important to have that exchange, because who knows, maybe she has moments where she doesn't feel like singing. She doesn't feel like posting. She doesn't feel like writing songs. I don't know. She's human. But sometimes, isn't it funny that sometimes you do things for other people, or you hear that feedback And it gives you that boost of like, okay, I can do this. You get a little energy back. And so anyway, I just felt it was the right etiquette to thank her. So years go by and I never get a hold of her, and I'm putting it out there. Then comes, I think it was May 2020. See, it's been a while, May 2020. And I have an invitation to be interviewed on Lee Harris's podcast, Impact the World. I'll put a link in the show notes because it's he's so cool. He's just absolutely terrific, and I was so honored to be asked to be on his podcast. And when I was looking to see at some of his recent interviews, we went into scheduling and all of that. I noticed that he had just posted the interview with India Re, and I thought, yes, remember, sometimes wishes take time and you have to pay attention. So I went, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So I made a plan. And that was, once we scheduled it, it was many months out because of course we're dealing with the pandemic, and they wanted me to come to their studio in Malibu to do it live. And so we were trying to find a time that we all felt safe to do that. And so once we were scheduled, I had prepared a box of Wishbeads with a note explaining my story. This was years after she had made such an impact in my life. And I gathered everything together, like this little care package that I had made. And when I went to my interview to the team, I said, I have this special wish, and that is to thank India Re. And I had been trying to reach her for years. And I said, and I'm not asking for her address, because again, I don't think that's the right etiquette. I just said, but you know her. And maybe you can reach out to her and see if it's okay if you would please send her this gift on my behalf. And they were like, cool, amazing. Like I'd even put the postage on it. I really wanted to create as few barriers as possible for this experience. Because literally my intention is just to thank her. And they were like, no problem. That's such a neat story. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. And it took some time. So we did our interview. I will do the link in the interview if you'd like to see that. You can see it in the show notes. But I gave them this box, and and that was it. And it took maybe a couple months after. I don't even remember the timeline, 2 or 3 months after. And lo and behold, there is a email from India Re. What? In my inbox, thanking me for the Wishbeads. So excited. What? Finally, my wish came true. It felt so good. I made that contact. Yes, so great. I was so psyched. End of story. Except it wasn't the end of the story. Cut to many months after that, 3-4 months. I don't even remember anymore. Maybe 6 months. I have no idea. And a friend of mine reaches out and was like, oh my God, that was so cool of India Re. And I was like, what? She had made a video of her writing her wishes on the wish paper and putting them into her jewelry with one of her songs as the music underscoring the entire video, and posted it in her Instagram feed to over 900,000 followers. It was so beautiful. It was such a full circle moment for me. And not because yes, I did have some spike in sales, but that wasn't it for me. It wasn't like an extraordinary spike, but it was such a beautiful, full circle moment that created such a deep sense of satisfaction. And that's what I kind of want to share with you, is that you don't know what's going to happen. And probably the story between India and Ari and I is not over. I don't know. It's unfolding. We'll see what happens in the future. Maybe I'll get to meet her someday. Who knows? I'm not worried about it. But I thought, wow, all of the years, and this is where we're talking about time, the years that I have wanted to have this happen, not because I wanted some big financial windfall or some sort of, I don't even know why I wanted. You know why I wanted it? Is because I wanted to thank an artist. Because I know what it's like to be an artist. and to feel that you put your art out there. And then there is sometimes this sense of what's the point? Because our society so values other things. That's how we were measuring success. And yet I know that that woman's art, her vibration, her truth, her energy, her creation literally set off a ripple effect inside of me that I believe is going to create a ripple effect we're just getting started here at Wishbeads. Just getting started. And that kind of acknowledgement really demanded years. And so it's strange. I'm just sitting here, by myself where I'm recording this podcast to encourage you with your dreams and your wishes that in a society that is so accustomed to immediate gratification and an overwhelming narrative of cynicism, your wishes demand your heart and your persistence and your attention and your love and your nurturing like a seed. The garden of possibility, it's inside of you. And it doesn't have to have reasons that you can understand. I knew that it was the right thing to be persistent, to thank this beautiful woman. I don't know her. But I am so grateful to her artistry. I am grateful that she as an artist has kept going, making art. And if you know her story, she achieved a great deal of fame, and it almost broke her early. She was very young and had a lot of fame. And that fame came at a big cost to her, emotionally and spiritually, physically. And yet her art has persisted. And it's her art that continues to give. And for that, I am so grateful, because I don't know where I would be without that spark of light that she gave me. And that made me go, okay, I'm going to provide that spark of light for someone else to ignite their heart and mind and soul to go pursue their dreams. And I will maybe never meet them. I don't require a thank you. I hope that my work lives on well beyond me. No one needs to know my name. No one needs to know my name. Of course, everyone's going to remember my name because of Amazon Alexa. And now all your devices went off. But not me. But it's an energy. And now is our time to bring that energy to the world. Now is our time to say yes. So yes, on one hand, it looks like, little jewelry company with a little wish inside. That's cute. No, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing here. And if you're listening to this podcast, you already know. You already know. I'm doing something much more, much bigger than that. And I'm honored that you're here because it tells me that you're ready. You're ready. You're feeling the flow of that energy, the readiness to ignite your own, or to turn up the light in your own inner light, your own inner spark, so that you can find the encouragement and support. And so to that end, I have been thinking about, what am I doing? If there's anything this pandemic has encouraged us, is to look more deeply inside ourselves and say, what am I doing here? What am I doing with my precious life that is not guaranteed? We don't know when we're going to leave. So what am I doing while I'm here? It reignited in me my big wish, which you may know about. It's sprinkled on my website. I talk about it from time to time. And that is to have over 1 million people wishing at once. It's a live event, a celebration in song, where we really tap into the network of human potential, of our light and our intentions, that goes beyond race, religion, physical location on the planet, but we can connect to a new energy, the energy that is within us. We are what we've been waiting for, but we need to connect with hope and positivity and purpose and connection to understand that we are creating the world that we want to live in. And I thought, okay, it's time to expand my work with Wishbeads to go beyond the bracelet, beyond the jewelry, to integrate both. So that's what I've been working on behind the scenes. I'm also working on building a community with Wishbeads so that we can support one another. So you'll find out if you are not signed up for, getting my newsletters, you would be the first to know. Our Wish Leader program is coming. And Wish Leaders, whether you're leading yourself, which is one person, or a group, it's just a way to find that support, to be someone who wants to share in the real energy that we're doing so that you can be an example, not just for yourself, but for others. We can cheer each other on. We can have fun, creativity, joy, purpose, support. And I'm making this up as I go, people. It's not like I have a PhD in wishing, but I'm here because I want to be. And I would love nothing more than for you to find your greatest joy and bliss and purpose, for you to find the strength to be that for other people in your world, because we need it. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is to stay freaked out and afraid. And I just don't want to do that. So here we are. I thank India Ari and some of my other heroes in my life, like Seth Godin. I have a whole story about Seth Godin that I just really connect with, his unique way of not just showing up in the world. He's one of the best marketing teachers and authors, and he's been a huge inspiration to me. That's another podcast for another time. Maybe I'll see if I can interview him. But I'm very grateful for the people who are putting their work out into the world so selflessly. They are learning about themselves and creating things, and they make an impact in people's lives. And so that's what I hope to do with the work that I'm doing, whether it's my podcast, whether it is the jewelry, my book, whatever. These are just tools for you. So I hope you can explore my world, even my courses, my online courses. And I'm learning. I cannot say that, I'm learning. I'm laughing because, it's just been this wild, wild ride. And so we can sit on the sidelines and look at other people and think, wow, they have it all figured out. My friends, nobody has anything figured out. Nobody has anything figured out. We're all just figuring it out as we go. But if we can do that with joy and support and transparency, it's so much better. There's no pretending. We're just doing the best we can. Sometimes we fail, but that just means that we're doing a great job because we're trying stuff. So we pick ourselves up, try something else, move on. So welcome to my world if this is the first time you're hearing it. If you are not new to my world, thank you for being here. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you for being part of our newsletter. Thank you for sending this to a friend who may need, something new in their lives. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your reviews. Thank you for being part of this wild, wild journey. Because, oh my gosh, there is so much to come. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome. Anyway, that's what gets me up out of bed every morning, ready to tackle the day, make some magic happen, and not be attached to the results. Meaning I do not know what is going to happen, but I know the pursuit of it fills me with purpose and joy, even on the tough days. So letting go of time, letting go of results, and surrendering to the moment, being truly right now, right here, right now, with gratitude, persistence, clarity, compassion, that's everything. So may you have that right now. May you say yes to that inside of yourself because you can. Even if the right now your present circumstances are hard, there is always something, some tiny thing to be grateful for. To stop and take a look around and see the magic, the miracles that are around you right now. But it's up to you to notice. So that is today's musing. We are interrupting our regularly scheduled programming to bring you this Wishbeads message. So may you have a glorious, glorious day. Thanks for being here. Shine on, my friends. You already have the light inside of you. Just let it shine.